Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a reading for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Seven of Wands. Okay, and that has everything to do with valor. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So, ooh, we have a little pyre there, some kind of, looks like a fire pit. Has kind of spirits coming off of it, almost. We'll come back around to that. Okay. Okay. Well, I want to start with right here. Okay, so we have, it looks like a mountain range, and right here it looks like a volcano. Okay, even smoke coming off. Now we also have kind of the castle up on the hill right up here. You can see it, and here is the hill. the hill even has a face. So I do feel like there's a sense of really working hard towards this great goal that you have. And I think that really is kind of making sure that your little kingdom, your little world, the life that you have built is kind of all together. Everything is secure. The foundation is firm. The walls are built steadily. Everything is fortified. It's beautiful out. The sky is clear. The sun is shining. All this kind of utopian thing that we all, really kind of hope for, right? And we have to work hard to get there, but not only get there, to maintain it. Okay. And I think that you are somebody who has worked so very hard, and you continue to do so. There's not a lot of slowing you down, right? You just really keep at it. Now, I think that whatever is going on in this current moment, there's frustration. We have the volcano, and we know the volcano is kind of that building. Is it going to explode? Will there be rage? Will there be complete, fallout here? I don't know. We got to keep looking, but I do think that these are kind of the warning signs, right? The little smoke. Okay, that thing's getting a little active over there. So I think that you're getting to that edge. You're getting to the part where you start to, I'm starting to lose my cool a little bit. I'm not really happy with the way things are going in this moment. Now, I do think that this is probably something in the physical world, and I think this is probably domestic. Okay. And I wonder if you have really found your partner for life, your spouse, your companion, whatever, it is somebody that's really important to you. Okay. But I do think in a practical sense, there are things left to be desired. And I think this really comes down to probably a living situation. It could be financial. It could be, about raising the kids, or, I don't know, their chores around the house not getting done, or maybe they work all the time, or they're not working and it could be, listen, in any kind of living situation, it could be a million things, right? And they change too. So, but it's something, and I think that there really is, and we have a key right below. Okay, so that's important. We have options here. Okay, and I don't think it's so much about trying to change who this person is or how they live or how they act. It's about looking into yourself. Okay, we cannot force people to be something they don't want to be. We can't force people to change if they don't want to change. We can only work on ourselves. So I think it's important for you to really kind of take, and I think it probably feels kind of selfish. And I think this is where you run into some problems. You are not very good at taking time for yourself. I think that you put a lot into everything that you do. And when it comes to doing something for just you, not in relation to the kids, or not in relation to the grandkids, not in relation to your significant other or the household or your animal companions or whatever it is, all of the things that you have to consider. When it gets to your time and you get a few minutes, or you're going to take a couple days or whatever, I think that you feel like it's like, well, I could be getting this thing done. I have this project I need to go do. But that's where that volcano starts building up. Now, sometimes we have to be selfish. It's not really selfish. It feels like it, though. Especially if you're a parent, right? And your kids are young. It can feel very selfish. But it's not. We know that. If you were talking to your sister, your best friend, your niece, your nephew, whoever, they have kids, they're young, you would tell them, probably, that you have to take care of yourself. You have to. Because this is a marathon. This is not a sprint, and it's true. And you don't want to get run down mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically as well, right? So you have to apply that same advice to yourself. You have to take some time. You have to do something that is for you. Even if it is, and I love to advocate for therapy, counseling, support groups, and I always do. If you set aside some time to go and do one of these things for yourself, or all of them, okay, finding some kind of support, finding somebody, and I know it's... A lot of us, we have friends, we can talk to them. We have family, we can talk to them. It's not the same as somebody who is a professional. And they can't tell anybody anything, right? And there's something sacred to that. Also, if you have somebody within your church, a minister or a pastor or priest, or I don't know if you can talk to the nuns. I'm not Catholic, but, I imagine there's somebody, right? And even to utilize one of these people, I don't know if they are bound to confidentiality, but, somebody who you trust, okay? I also think really just doing something to relieve some stress, some mindfulness practices, some kind of, whatever it is, I keep thinking in my head, going for a walk. That's my thing. If I feel like I am going from a 3 to an 8 real quick because everything's loud and it's hot in the house and the TV's on and I'm cooking dinner and my kids screaming and the cats are jumping on stuff, and it's just like, basically you could come in there and start a cowbell going at the same time, and it's like, the the lid of the pot's about to fly off or whatever. It's just, it's absolute chaos. What I can do for myself in that moment is turn down the stove, ask my husband to keep an eye on everybody, the kids or the kid and the food and stuff, and I can go step outside for a few minutes. And now I use my voice a lot now, so I don't scream as much. But before, I had to, try to preserve my ability to speak. I'd go out back by the garage, behind the garage, and I would scream. I would do that primal screaming stuff. I really, from the core of my being, just go out there. I'm sure the neighbors think I'm that strange lady from down the street, right? That goes and screams in the backyard sometimes. But you know what? It helped. It did. And so sometimes we just have to find the thing, and that looks like it's, something that is maybe really important right now for you. And I'm going to take a sip. Okay. So we have an F right here. So I feel like maybe an F name. Now, we have a beautiful, it looks like a person. It looks like a person, the top of their body here, and then the lower part of their body here. Maybe wearing a dress or a robe. It also looks like the moon, if you can see right here. So I feel like this is a person with a real strong lunar energy. And so, they have a dagger right here. Right there. It also makes me think of a church with the moon over it, a crescent moon, like that old McDonald's character with the moon face. I forget what his name was, the Moon Man, I think. But and I'm thinking, this almost seems like, it almost makes me think of somebody who was in one of the older generations, maybe like a great aunt or uncle, somebody I think who remained unmarried, which maybe was kind of scandalous at the time. And I think that they did have like a very kind of eccentric energy, but they really, I think the interesting thing is that they seemed very sophisticated to you, almost kind of worldly. And I feel like they were a person that was maybe quite religious, but maybe not in a conventional sense. Maybe they didn't belong to any, large religion or one of the Abrahamic religions. But I do think that this is somebody who they seemed very, I almost wonder if they had like a lot of things that they collected from around the world or on their trips to places. They had interesting kind of, hopefully reproductions of artifacts. And I think that this person really had an influence on you. I think that you were really kind of like, there was a great admiration. And I think that in a way it kind of made you a little more brave to go out there and explore the things that you were interested in. And I think that this is somebody that if they are alive or if they have transitioned, I think this is somebody to really commune with right now. because I think this is where part of your core personality comes from. I think that this is, and we all have these people in our lives that are just so striking, and they aren't necessarily role models, but they are people who we admire so greatly, and they just are so different from what we know or what we're usually around, right? That it causes a little spark in us that it's like, okay, yeah, I can get with that. I can kind of be, brave and go out there and maybe travel a little bit, go study some interesting things and live a little more eccentrically than maybe, my parents are or the neighbors are or whatever. And so, yeah, I think this is definitely, I like to use active imagination as a kind of technique or a tool to visit my ancestors. I like to use my interior spaces, the places that I have meticulously created, kind of theaters, if you will, and go to these places and meet with the people I know that I need to commune with. When I begin to forget myself, when I feel like my power has slipped from me, when I feel like I can't, get up and walk another step, when I feel the world has wronged me, when I feel like everything has been taken from me, when I think about, it's just how terribly things have gone. And I don't understand how could this have happened to me. But then I think, my family, on my father's side, we are Choctaw. We're Native. And then, I have other like Eastern Bloc and other things in my DNA or whatever. But I think about all of the people that had to survive against, the greatest odds. People that, went through, I can't even imagine. Yeah, and continued on and did their best and survived so that I may be who I am right now. And in some way, I sometimes think like, I have it pretty good. I mean, I've been through some things, right? We all have. But my goodness, what a blessing it is to be where we are in this moment. Even if everything else seems like it's falling apart. And so we go into these places in our dreams, in our imagination, in our minds, or if our people are still here and alive in their bodies, we go and be with them. We commune with them. They maybe don't have the exact answers, but they know us because we carry them in our blood. In our being. And now you maybe are somebody like myself where my parents died when I was young and I moved away when I was young, pretty young. And I created other families. I have acquired family, we call each other. I have other parents now. They didn't adopt me. I was, 20 when I met them. But I've also had a lot of moms along the way as well. I was always that kid that everybody's mom, would kind of take in. And so, then we are also attached to all these other people, even if they aren't of our blood and we are not of their blood. What does that mean exactly anyways, right? There's such a net of so many beings. And so when we feel like none of it makes sense, it feels painful, we want to give up. This is a place where I go. It feels like home. It feels like church. It feels like the holiest temple. I can sit right across from anybody, anywhere. We can hold each other's hands and we can look into each other's eyes and we don't even have to say anything. But there's a reason why we're here, and it's not to be upset all the time. There's a reason why we're here, and it's not to be feeling like you're always failing and you're not doing enough and, you know, everything is against you and all of these kinds of thoughts. It's a miracle that you're here. The universe has conspired to have you. You are a blessing. So look for the blessings. I always like that thought. We're all made of star stuff. We're little fragments of stars. And so we are. And so we are. Okay, let's see. We have a person getting on a boat right there. You can see a person. There's a little sailboat. So there is a journey. And the sailboat often symbolizes to me the movement of emotions, the movement of energies. When we are getting into this place where we start to really, we let the blockages build up. And it's when we get into those states of feeling ruled by our past, by the things that we did that we shouldn't have, or, whatever, the things that we should have done and we didn't. But it's time to get free of all of that. It's time to look at what is going on and what can you do. What do you actually want? What are you willing to do to get it? One of my mantras, it comes from a song. Tell me what I wouldn't do. I tell myself this every day. Tell me what I wouldn't do. It's a very short list. I would do just about anything I had to. And I have. But I also know that I live from a place of love. Despite everything else. Because you know what? It's the only thing, the only true equalizer. Maybe death, right? I'm not ready for that yet. So love it is. All right. Gemini. Getting all worked up here. No. I am tired of these months of being sick. And I know we take all the supplements and eat good foods and, we're like a Whole Foods family. I don't know. It's these kids. They have the super germs, I swear. All right, let's see. I'm not going to blame them. It's not their fault. It's just, I don't know. I had never been sick in my life until I would get sick once in a while, every a few years, I would maybe every 10 years, I'd get like a really bad flu or whatever big thing was going around. But recently, in the last, since my daughter's been going to, classes and has her activities and stuff, it's nonstop. And it's like everybody around us, constantly getting sick. So I don't know. Anyways, these are the divine doors. We're going to go ahead and flip through, and I'm going to stop. Ooh, I don't remember this one. That's neat. It says, bless this space. Your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. And if you don't burn things, I do burn things sometimes, but ever since we have had our daughter, I do a lot less, especially only when she's out of the house, because I don't know, I'm scared of her breathing too much smoky stuff. But there are other ways too. You can use like a bowl of water to clear your house. You can use a bell. I really like frankincense a lot. I've read that frankincense and myrrh together actually are like antibacterial, I think, when you burn it in your house, and yeah, so on and so on and so on. There are a lot of ways to do it. So for those of you who don't burn things, there are other ways. And just fresh air. That's the one I'm always talking about, right? Open your windows, open your doors, let the air flow through your house. Okay. That's my favorite way to clear our house. All right, Gemini, I'm going to say I love you, and I do. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And what else? If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I'm a little behind just because of not being well lately the last few days. And but getting caught up. So I want you to know I do see them and I read them for sure. So anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days from now. All right, bye-bye.